This is Shiraz Myl Radio, and we're here with 12th Planet and Flinch. And they are here on the tour in Canada. Just did Vancouver last night. Here in Victoria, gonna tear down Sugar tonight. How's the tour been going so far, guys?
Tour's been great. Can't complain. Started in Whistler. We went to the Kokanee Crankworks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of mountain biking and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
wild.
And then we went to Montreal and played this club called Stereo, and supposedly it's one of the best sound systems in Canada. Pretty good system.
Nice.
And we did Vancouver Celebrities last night, and now we're in Victoria. The weather is so beautiful here. Let me tell you, Montreal was 45 degrees, man. It was like the hottest weather we've ever experienced.
Dubstep hasn't been around forever. It's a fairly recent phenomenon. So what music were you listening to growing up?
Growing up, I grew up in like South Los Angeles, so hip hop was really big.
It's quite amazing that you rhyme how you do and that you shine like you grew up in the shrine in Peru. Question 14, Muslim lesson 2. Dip diver, civilizer 85er. I make the devil hit his knees and say to our Father, abracadabra. You rockin' with the true and living. Shout out the lights out, Joseph I, Chewy Bivens.
But I'm also part of the MTV generation, so I was really into Motley Crue and Poison and all that stuff. You remember all the stuff on MTV? Like, it was awesome. But it wasn't until like 8th grade or 7th grade when I learned how to play bass guitar and guitar, and I started getting really into rock and roll again, and Rage Against the Machine and Sublime, and then after that, punk and stuff like that, and then reggae. At the same time too, growing up in LA, like Deep House was really, really big. It was on the radio maybe 10 hours a day, 11 hours a day, and 7th and 8th grade, when you go to like, an 8th grade kickback, the music that they play, it wasn't really hip hop, it was like Deep House and stuff. So from that, I heard electronic music, and once I got to high school, I met there's like a handful of kids that even listen to electronic music. So from Deep House, a lot of these guys like put me on game to like hardcore and gabber and Dutch house, and from that I got into jungle and drum and bass, and then from that I got into dubstep. So that's kind of been my evolution.
So you played in some bands and stuff before you got into sort of production, electronic production.
Yeah.
What instruments do you play?
Bass and guitar, pretty much.
Oh, cool.
I mean, I can play an 8-beat on the drum kit, but I suck. This guy can hold his own.
Europe, picked up some of the dubstep sound, stuff like that, came back, and you sort of were producing dubstep in LA before there was a big dubstep scene there or anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I started really getting into it, I maybe knew about 4 or 5 people who had even heard the term.
Did it take a little pushing to get people in LA to sort of get into the sound? I mean,
It was definitely a slow, I think a lot of the old drum and bass scene was really threatened by something new, and I mean, it was a lot different. We were used to 180 beats per minute, and it was, a lot of kids are like, man, it's just too slow, and so you would see dubstep kind of for an hour for the drum and bass show, and then it slowly became where maybe you'd see an hour of drum and bass, and now Now it's coming back though. Drum and bass is drum stepping it up and mixing it in there, but it definitely took a while for it to totally solidify in LA.
So it goes from something where you've got, you know, these little rooms full of people in LA, to an underground thing, to you're playing to huge crowds in Coachella. So that must be what's that ride been like coming from? I mean, is it a bit surreal to be?
It's completely surreal. I mean, me personally, I never thought that the scene or dubstep would be as big as where it is now. It's been one beautiful ride of ups and downs and all arounds, and friends that, you know, that I've known for 10, 12 years, you know, slowly come back full circle into this music. I love it. I love everything about it.
Yo, thank you, Victoria. My name is Paul Turner. I love you, motherfuckers.